To mark the 5th anniversary of Typhoon Haiyan, Tzu Chi holds a large free clinic in Tacloban. South African volunteers traveled to Malawi to carry out Tzu Chi's charity mission. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Sue. Thank you for joining us. To mark the 5th anniversary of Typhoon Haiyan in the Philippines, Tzu Chi has held a large free clinic in Tacloban. 466 medical volunteers from Singapore, Malaysia, Taiwan, and Manila have dedicated themselves to serve the patients at the free clinic. On the second day of the free clinic, Tima's plastic surgeon has performed a surgery to reconstruct a patient's fingers. In addition, on the third day of the free clinic, a TCM doctor has helped a patient who suffered a stroke to stand on her feet. The Tacloban residents who are coming to the free clinic are excited to see the doctors from Taiwan. On the first day of the free clinic, at 5 a.m., hundreds of people have lined up outside the local school.
I thought there were just a few people waiting here. I did not imagine that hundreds of people are waiting here. I'm very surprised. More people have come to this clinic compared to before.
5 years after Typhoon Haiyan struck, the large free clinic in Tacloban has attracted more people each year. At the free clinic, the medical team from Singapore, Malaysia, and Taiwan provides medical services from 6 departments. 3 pediatricians have to serve 330 young patients in a day. Among the patients, this 5-year-old boy has deformed feet, and he has not had a chance to wear shoes.
His feet have to be corrected by orthopedists. His treatment has to take place in stages.
Now that the little boy has a chance to walk in the future, his mother feels there's hope for him. At Tzu Chi's free clinic in Tacloban, while the medical team serves the people in need, they're supported by a group of kitchen volunteers. After making the appetizers and Filipino food, the volunteers have to transport them from Palo Da'ai village to the free clinic venue. During their short breaks, the doctors enjoy the food the volunteers prepare mindfully. Some other volunteers also provide them with drinks so they can continue their work. 35-year-old man whose left hand is deformed has also come to seek medical help. Tima's plastic surgeon performs a surgery to construct his grabbing function. During the process, the medical professionals keep calming the patient's mind. The surgery has been completed in just more than an hour. The patient is excited despite his pain that he'll be able to grab things with his left hand.
I'm very grateful to Tzu Chi. My fingers are finally separated.
One volunteer who's a teacher has been running around all day without showing her fatigue. When Typhoon Haiyan struck 5 years ago, she almost lost her life. Having been touched by Tzu Chi volunteers, she has been attending every free clinic for the past 4 years.
Since 2015, I started joining until this year, until today.
With the help of volunteers from Manila, Ormoc, and Marikina, the patients can communicate with the medical volunteers without any problem. This pharmacist has been busy serving patients for the past 3 days.
I do not feel tired. I feel very happy because I'm helping people. Despite the fatigue, I feel very joyful.
At the area for TCM treatment, this TCM doctor from Singapore is very grateful that this wheelchair-bound patient has returned for follow-up treatment. She hugs the patient to show her appreciation. On the day before, the patient's husband came with the patient who has not been able to walk for 8 years due to a stroke. After more than an hour of treatment, she could stand up. However, she still needs to undergo further treatment.
We apply acupuncture to give her energy. Then we will give her confidence. If you form good affinities with her and she trusts you, she will have good treatment results.
To treat a patient, it is important to heal them mentally. The perseverance of the doctor and the medical volunteers have given the patient confidence.
Yes, very good, very good.
The doctors help the patient stand up and wear shoes. The patient remarks that this is the first time she has met such a gentle doctor.
She is a doctor full of love. She loves patients more than mothers do.
okay, you can do it, I can do it, all right?
The patient tears up as she is very grateful to the medical volunteers. Having gained confidence, she will continue to practice standing and work hard on rehabilitation. Tzu Chi in Malacca, Malaysia hosted the 2018 scholarship presentation ceremony, which awarded 785 students. These scholarship recipients were recognized in various categories: the Moral Award, the Filial Piety Award, the Academic Progress Award, the Academic Merit Award, and the Quality and Excellence Award. Let's join them there.
Ini tanya untuk dia. Okay, good girl. Ini untuk you, certificate. Okay.
Receiving the awards and best wishes, all the students have improved. It's important to discover the potential in each student and point out their hard work. In the 2018 Malacca Tzu Chi Scholarship Presentation Ceremony, there were a total of 785 students.
There are some requirements and certain academic standards that they must meet, so that gives them a driving force to work hard.
It helps the students motivate themselves, both academically and in character development.
He will do his homework on time. Everything that the teacher gives him to do, he will do it.
Dan Jingning has been a rebellious child, but has made great progress under the guidance of Tzu Chi volunteers. On the day of the ceremony, she mustered up all her courage and repented to her mother. She expressed her gratitude toward her by performing the feet washing ceremony.
She is really good to me, but I always make her mad.
She washed my feet in front of all these people. This is a really good start.
In everyone's life, we have also made mistakes like this, so no more making my mom worry so much. She works very hard.
The long-lasting companionship helps the child grow into his or her potential. It also sows the seeds of goodness in their hearts.
The Kaohsiung Tzu Chi New Shoot Scholarship Award ceremony was held at Kaohsiung Jingsi Hall on October 28th, recognizing 390 students. Among them, Hong Kun-hwa, who has 3 types of cancer, was honored for his independence and strength. Despite the financial difficulties his family faces, he and his parents have decided to donate his scholarship to help other people in need.
With a big smile on his face, Hong Kun-hwa has been diagnosed with cancer since he was in kindergarten. He is now a high school senior, has never complained about his misfortune.
He discusses his treatment schedules with the doctors. He does everything by himself.
Just relax and do not be afraid of illnesses. Fear does not help. We just solve the problems when we encounter them.
As Hong Kun-hwa has to undergo treatment, he could not go to school. Therefore, he received tutoring and self-study diligently to perform well academically. To appreciate people's assistance, he's willing to donate his scholarship.
This is not the first time he donated his scholarship. He has donated it in the past as well. His left hand lacks strength, but he'll try hard to train his muscle endurance. He does not want to trouble his classmates.
He educates us to face his difficulties with smiles. I hope he will have the endurance of a camel.
At Tzu Chi's New Shoot Scholarship Award ceremony in Kaohsiung, 390 students are recognized. They are impoverished but worthy students like Hong Kun-hwa. The scholarship has given them positive energy to face more challenges in life.
Another Tzu Chi New Shoot Scholarship Award ceremony was held at Taichung Jingsi Hall on October 27, benefiting more than 2,000 worthy students. Among the scholarship recipients were 2 brothers who grew up in an impoverished family. Despite the hardship they faced while growing up, they both got into medical school. As they pursue an education, they also seized the opportunity to contribute to society. Lin Yingting studies at Chang'an University Medical School, while his younger brother majors in TCM at the same school. While the 2 brothers' academic performance puts them at top of the school, they grew up in an impoverished family.
My younger brother and I have always relied on scholarships, provided by different people in society.
This is your bank book, and you might need the money as you attend university. I questioned how much money was left and opened the bank book. Then I saw that the number is quite small, just 2 to 3 digits.
After their parents got divorced, the two brothers had to take out student loans and borrow money. More than 3 years ago, when they needed to pay for their grandmother's medical expenses, they sought help at Taichung Jingsi Hall. Since then, Tzu Chi volunteers have been caring for them, and they've won New Shoot Scholarship every year.
Having received Tzu Chi's assistance, upon graduating from medical school, they will practice medicine with great love.
The two brothers' grandmother gives them spiritual support. When their grandmother was injured, they felt helpless and therefore decided to study medicine.
I cannot follow the path that my parents took. I cannot be like them. I just need to become more responsible.
Although I do not have anything, I'm good at studying. Then I should study hard. When people face difficulties in life, at least they can pursue an education. I think everyone should try hard instead of giving up on studying.
Now the two future doctors are staying strong, and they often volunteer to serve others during their spare time. They've proven that education gives hope to our future generation. A Tzu Chi volunteer team from South Africa traveled to the 8th country in Africa, Malawi, to provide Tzu Chi support. They were inspired to make this trip after meeting Michael, who's a native of this country. With his help, they helped rebuild a home for a solitary senior.
Taking anti-malarial drugs for people heading to Malawi is like a ritual they need to follow. Another special weapon is this water bottle. A total of 7 South Africa Tzu Chi volunteers and local volunteers work together to spread love and compassion across borders. Malawi has been ranked as one of the least developed countries in the world by the United Nations. More than half of the country's people live below the poverty line, with the lowest income in the world. The government has been plagued with long-term debt and malaria epidemics. AIDS and a high fertility rate has led to few in the labor force.
We always think these countries, upper countries, they're better than us. But what we found, they are poor. They are the poor of the poorest. Most of the people, they're living in the dark corners. So in other words, in our mission is to take them out of the dark corners. They must leave all the calamities that they have before in the past life. So they have to get rid of all the afflictions that have been happening in the past. They must start a new life.
To avoid accidentally drinking unclean water, volunteers buy water for 5 days at the store. Corn flour was also purchased for use during their short stay. They meet a woman carrying a child begging for food near their van, with volunteers giving her the bread they brought aboard with them on the plane. Soon 2 other ladies appear. Seeing the look on these hungry children leaves volunteers feeling distressed.
Our mission to Malawi, first is to plant the seed of great love, because we've seen here when we met our brother Mike telling us about the place of Malawi, we didn't think that it's so bad like this.
The destination of this trip is a community which largely consists of sheet metal houses. This is the residence of Mike, whom Tzu Chi volunteers met at the Durban airport.
Why you look so tired?
Mike has a great desire to spread charity and compassion into this simple community. At the urging of these Tzu Chi volunteers, painters and cement workers who have professional expertise will soon help rebuild the house of a solitary grandmother.
The old lady has nothing in her house, only bricks and a leaky roof with a dirt floor. On our first visit, would help her clean the house, and there were worms everywhere. She has no door or windows, and there's really no difference between the inside and the outside of the house. For a long time, it has been necessary to rely on local bodhisattvas to gather more bodhisattvas to exert this unlimited power.
A preliminary discussion of what materials were needed was undertaken. This inquiry process was also a good way to inspire more people to help.
In fact, there are many different prices to buy these materials locally. Everyone knows that these charitable funds are hard to come by, so everyone went to these stores and asked about what we needed and if we could get the best possible price, so no one should profit too much based on our work.
Repairing this house has inspired love and compassion from local volunteers.
You know, that was a great job. And we came again in this community. We went in the house to see sick people, to see old people. You know, a thing that I've always been yearning to do, something that since I was little, I've always wanted to see these things. It has always been my desire to see these things.
We've been brothers since we were kids, and we've been doing this for a long time. It's just that for us to get to higher heights, we were unable due to financial, and we are lacking people to give us support. But with this Tzu Chi, I hope we'll do more and we'll be able to reach as many as people as we can.
We want to allow locals the chance to come together to share love and compassion. The first case is used as a seed, and I hope that local volunteers will use this love to inspire everyone's peace and harmony. We hope to attract local people who are willing to give their strength and love to help the community. In the future, you can continue to complete the house of love that is not yet in place.
In the process, everyone is learning wisdom and compassion, as a seed of love is expected to multiply 10 times, spreading as far away as Malawi.
Hurricane Maria struck Puerto Rico back in September of last year. U.S. city volunteers have been caring for the affected residents. This time, volunteers revisited the recipients of financial assistance. Even though the road to recovery is still long, the locals are staying positive.
After the hurricane, there was nothing left. FEMA denied me help because I didn't have any papers. I didn't receive help from anyone. With this money, I will buy materials to build my house, or at least a small room to move in. I'm happy and extremely satisfied. Thank you.
Last time you were here, this area was devastated. Now, thanks to God and you guys' help, as the slogan says, Puerto Rico rises, we have risen. I received a surprise cash card from Tzu Chi. Thank God it came when it did. It was used to buy an electric generator, and it arrived at the most important moment. All the people who received help are very grateful. Tzu Chi arrived at the most critical moment. We need more noble people with big hearts. They showed us much love and care when they arrived.
These are angels. Angels from heaven have come to us. Really good people came to help us. If we have a bad temper and a sharp tongue, we cannot be considered a good person, even if we have a good heart. I believe the center of the island by the mountains, the electric grid is still very weak. There are still areas without power. There are still towns and neighborhoods here in Puerto Rico that still lack electricity.
So this is a line?
Yeah.
And from the side?
Yeah.
With the card I was provided, I bought supplies, locks, a door that you can see there, a window over there. That lock is one of the ones I bought with the card they gave me. I bought, I think, if I'm not wrong, 6 of them.
We have recovered, but not completely. What they have given us helped us to recover most of the things we lost.
Hola. Hay mucha construcción.
There's a lot of construction, and the commenters have a lot of work to do. They have 2 and 3 jobs. We must wait.
Hay que esperar, que esperar.
Es un número de 1 a 70.
Del 1 a 70, bueno, me voy por 50. Grande. Si verdaderamente quieres amar a otro, deberás cuidar muy bien tu propio corazón. Muy bien. Ajá.
En español y en chino.
Ajá, en español y chino. Ok, sí.
Un regalo pequeño.
Pues muy bien, muchas gracias.
Zhu Mengrong has a talent for drawing, and is also good in computer-aided design. Nevertheless, she grew up in a disadvantaged household. From a young age, she didn't have a mother, and her grandmother suffered a stroke. Furthermore, her father's illness prevents him from working. Despite these challenges, she has stayed strong.
Tzu Mengrong is in the 3rd year of high school now, but when she was just an elementary school student, her grandmother became bedridden because of a stroke. From that day onward, she became responsible for her care.
When I was young, she bathed me and fed me, and also braided my hair.
Her Indonesian mother left Taiwan just after she was born, and Tzu Mengrong had little recollection of her.
She is very obedient. After school, she comes home to care for grandma. She doesn't go out to play.
Her father suffers from chronic illness as stents were put in his heart, making him unable to go out and work. The whole family depends on Mengrong, especially her grandmother and father.
After the stroke, she could only lay down and wasn't able to sit up and go out.
During the most difficult time, Tzu Chi volunteer Liu Shumei provided solid support and backing for her.
When the ceiling was about to collapse, a group of Tzu Chi volunteers came. Many of them came, and I felt very warm.
She's able to skip meals and doesn't want to beg. She doesn't want other people to feel sorry for her.
Tzu Mengrong never complains about her difficult upbringing. She thanks her father for giving her artistic talent. In fact, her paintings are full of color. She frequently makes cards for her father and her classmates, as well as a Tzu Chi volunteer who has been like a mother to her. She often uses line to communicate with Tzu Chi volunteer Liu Shumei to express her appreciation.
Later, I will take care of Auntie just like she often took care of me.
I also think of her like my mother. When I grow older, I want to be like her and also help other people.
Illness and poverty have been a big test for Tzu Mengrong, though she has been able to persevere and find joy in life.
Hualien City volunteers have invited the seniors in Guoxing Borough to visit the residents of Fukan Long-Term Care Center. Having a lot of common topics, the seniors share some quality time together. We'll leave you with these images at the end of our program. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.